Cratons are like giant solid pieces of land that have stayed almost the same for millions of years. Their rocks, over 1.4 billion years old, are the oldest parts of the continents, like pieces of a giant puzzle called Pangea. But what if these steady parts of the Earth's crust are more than just old rocks that have seen a lot of history? Today, we'll explore how these ancient blocks of Earth might have been important for the development of ancient civilizations, and maybe how they could be like doorways to different realities. Plus, because they haven't changed much, they're great places to find things left behind by lost civilizations, maybe even ancient technologic civilizations, if they existed. If you love the mysteries of history and the secrets of the multiverse, subscribe to Reality Shift on YouTube and come along on this awesome journey. First, let's do a little recap. A craton is a huge area of the Earth's crust that has stayed geologically stable for 500 million years in the case of the youngest ones, and up to 3 billion years for the oldest ones. These areas are made up of the oldest rocks on the planet and are at the heart of the continents. They are remnants of the early Earth, almost untouched by the tectonic processes that have changed other parts of the world. They are found in places like the Kapval Craton in South Africa, the Pilbara Craton in Australia, or the Sahara Craton in Africa, to name just a few. In the simulation theory, we imagine our reality is like a complex computer program that depends on certain points of stability to exist. Cratons could be those fixed points. Since they aren't subject to the same changes as the rest of Earth's crust, they allow Earth's simulation to keep running smoothly. These stable places, with an untouched geological history, might not only be important for the stability of our reality, but they could have an even more interesting role, being nodes between different realities, points where different dimensions might intersect. Throughout history, we know that great civilizations have popped up in geologically stable places. And if we think about lost civilizations that may have existed in prehistory, is it possible that they thrived near cratons because of their stability? This all connects to the idea of ley lines. Ley lines were made popular in the 20th century by archaeologist Alfred Watkins, who noticed that many ancient sites, like Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, the pyramids of Egypt, and temples in America, seem to be lined up. According to this theory, these lines mark Earth energy routes or paths used by ancient civilizations for some mystical or geomagnetic purpose. These lines would connect sacred places, ancient monuments, and interestingly, many of them match up with geologically stable regions like cratons. Ley lines aren't just some archaeological curiosity. In some studies, they are suggested as energy pathways, but what if they were actually coordinates on a vast map that connects different layers of our reality? The so-called ley points, located at key intersections of these lines, have been considered places of power, portals between dimensions, or energy centers. If cratons represent geological stability in the simulation, they could also be energy anchors where reality is denser, where connections to other dimensions might be easier to access. If reality were a simulation, ley points could be coordinates within the code of the universe, where energy would be concentrated and allow for anomalies like changes in the perception of time, paranormal things, or even access to parallel realities. Cratons, geologically stable zones, could match up with ley points, which would reinforce the idea that they are nodes between dimensions. In short, cratons, being places where geological events don't often change the formations, could have been perfect shelters for advanced cultures to place their infrastructure. Unlike other parts of the Earth's crust, that buried information might still be accessible. Let's take a quick look at some of these cratons. In South Africa, near the Kapval Craton, There are remains of prehistoric societies and rock art that might have been preserved thanks to the geological stability. This craton is also located near the remains of what some consider the ancient lost city spoken of in African legends, related to the kingdom of Ophir. Pilbara Craton in Australia. The Pilbara Craton in Australia holds ancient life remains dating back over 3 billion years. The ancient Aboriginal cultures, which may have preserved lost knowledge, also inhabited this place in more recent times. The Saharan Craton. An intriguing example is the Saharan Craton. Today, the Sahara is one of the most inhospitable deserts on the planet, but thousands of years ago, this land was a vast green region with lakes and abundant vegetation. Recent studies have shown that the Sahara, currently one of the driest places on Earth, went through a series of climate transformations. In prehistoric times, this area was a thriving habitat with vast lakes and flourishing ecosystems, very different from the arid desert we see today. And during this wetter period, it's believed there may have been human groups that prospered in these conditions. The remnants of rock art, traces of ancient rivers, and signs of wildlife tell us that, in the past, this land was a cultural center. Over time, climate change and gradual drying transformed the Sahara into the desert we know today. But the underlying craton is still there, preserving these secrets beneath its vast blanket of sand. But the Sahara isn't the only place holding secrets about lost civilizations. Let's travel now to some of the most famous landmarks in human history, looking for connections to Cratons. The pyramids of Egypt, one of the most amazing things humans ever built, are located in the western desert of Egypt. This area, while not directly on top of a craton, is pretty close to a geologically stable region. Some studies suggest the spot for the pyramids wasn't just picked because of the stars and religion, but also because the ground there is very solid. The Egyptians might have chosen spots close to cratons so their monuments would last a really long time, which was important for a civilization that wanted to live forever. Also, Giza has been called a key point in a network of ley lines, which are said to connect sacred sites all over the world. In Anatolia, in the heart of Turkey, we find the ancient city of Hattusa, the capital of the Hittites, an empire that ruled the region during the 2nd millennium BC. This area is also situated on a craton, which could have provided a strong foundation for the civilizations that thrived there. The ruins of Göbekli Tepe, the oldest archaeological complex in the world, are in Anatolia and might have been a center of advanced knowledge, protected by the area's geology. Some researchers believe Göbekli Tepe is located at a crossing of ley lines, which adds another layer to the mystery of its construction. Stonehenge, in southwest England, is close to geologically stable areas. It's been suggested this ancient monument could have been a geological node, a powerful place connecting people to the cosmos and to the Earth's energy. The Salisbury region, where Stonehenge is located, has a rich history of huge stone structures, and the fact that it's near a geologically stable zone might mean the ancient Britons knew how important solid ground was for building things that last. Plus, it's one of the places most often mentioned in studies about ley lines, suggesting it might have been part of a bigger energy network. Continuing our exploration of the unknown, the multiverse theory suggests that multiple realities could exist simultaneously, all coexisting in different dimensions. Cratons, with their geological stability, could be more than just shelters for lost civilizations. They could act as nodes or points of contact between different realities. If Earth is really part of a simulation, these points could be places where the barriers between parallel universes become thinner, allowing different realities or timelines to connect and intersect. Is it possible that ancient civilizations had secret knowledge about how to access these nodes and that, somehow, the location of their monuments and temples reflected this cosmic connection? Just like Cratons, which have witnessed billions of years of geological history, lost civilizations might have left their mark in these special places, marking points of contact between different worlds and dimensions. The stability of Cratons and their connection to ancient civilizations invites us to ask if these blocks of rock are, in reality, portals to other universes. In any case, these are exceptional places where we can search for remains of our most distant past, since they haven't been affected by geological time as much as other parts of our planet during the course of plate tectonics. If you were fascinated by this topic and want to keep exploring the mysteries of the multiverse, lost civilizations, and the secrets of our reality, don't forget to subscribe to the Reality Shift channel and leave us your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the importance of Cratons and the discovery of lost civilizations, possible evidence of ancient technological civilizations, or stepping between parallel dimensions? We want to hear from you.